Okay, so one thing we're going to look at is during the pandemic, quite a few US billionaires saw a surge in their wealth. So we see here on this graph, we have Jeff, Bill, Mark, Warren, and Larry. You can see they all had significant increases in their overall wealth. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at really at Jeff Bezos' wealth. Now, one thing that's helpful is to kind of turn this into something that is a little bit easier to think of because 113 billion, 113 billion, a very large number. So let's see if we can kind of make this into a context that we can think of. And we're going to try to turn it into the number of Boeing 737. So probably you guys can get a little image of one of those larger jets. And those are approximately from statistica.com, valued under $90 million. All right, so we're going to start off with Jeff's um, accumulated wealth right now. So we're looking at 113 billion, right? So right now, that would be 113,000. Now we're looking at 113 million. Now we're getting into the billions, quite a few zeros there. So what we're trying to do, and this is where the dimensional analysis or the unit factor is going to come into play, is we are trying to convert this into how many planes. So what it comes down to sometimes is knowing whether you're going to have to use referenced or prior knowledge. Referenced, which means you might have to go to Google to look into what the conversion factor is. Sometimes it's going to be just some basic prior knowledge, just something like, you know, how many minutes in an hour. So for me, this was definitely a referenced knowledge situation. I did not know how much a 737 jet would cost. But I do know that I'm starting off with dollars and I want to end up with the number of planes. Well, I do know that my conversion factor is going to be the $90 million. So that is where this referenced or prior knowledge comes into play. So I have to take that reference knowledge now and convert it. Well, I want to end up with planes as in my final answer. So, and I'm starting off in my numerator here with Jeff's current wealth in the numerator. So that means I need to have that cost of a plane in the denominator in the next one. So right now we're at getting to 90,000 and then $90 million. And I realize that one looks like a decimal. Let me go back and fix that. Okay, so it is one plane. Well, this now becomes pretty simple mathematics, especially if you have a calculator on hand. And if you remember when dividing by powers of 10, it's pretty easy because you're just going to end up canceling out a lot of zeros, especially since Jeff has so many in his unit worth, or net worth, I should say. So back to the dimensional analysis, right? This is $113 billion. The plane was 90 million. So I want to make sure I have my units in here. That's all we're talking about with dimensional analysis. It's a way to approach a problem by thinking about the units. We need one more set. One more set for 90 million. Here we go. So we can see that these hundreds would cancel out, these thousands, and we're left with this value, right? 113,000 divided by 90. And when you do that mathematics, it comes out to approximately 250 in 55 planes. So with Jeff's money, he could probably easily start up a couple different airline companies. So that is a quick snapshot of using referenced or prior knowledge. In my next video, I'm going to demonstrate how you would use prior knowledge with a classic problem of converting your age in years to minutes.